DC News Now at 4.
The FAA announcing major cuts to air service as the government shutdown continues. What you need to know if you're traveling this weekend.
Turning chilly in the DMV. Meteorologist Damon Matson is tracking when we'll see some rain.
Fighting over the future of the FBI's headquarters, why Maryland leaders are filing suit against the Trump administration.
Also, Montgomery County holding a donation drive to support victims of Hurricane Melissa. What items they say are needed most.
And a grocery price check before the weekend. We're stretching your dollar with the prices at grocery stores during this government shutdown.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And good afternoon. I'm Elisa Gale. Well, major cuts coming from the FAA. They announced flight reductions at 40 airports, including right here in the DMV.
And it comes as the government shutdown continues through day 37.
Yeah, the FAA says it will cut 10% of air traffic. That's impacting 3,500 to 4,000 flights daily.
And those impacts can be felt at Reagan, Dulles, and BWI. Air traffic controllers have gone unpaid since October 1st.
DC News Now's Marielle Carbone joining us live from Reagan National Airport there with more on this. Marielle, how's it going there?
Well, Annalisa, we are certainly starting to see delays on the departure board, but those main impacts will be tomorrow when those cancellations start. Now, the implications of this ongoing shutdown are not only affecting the travelers who are feeling the strain here, but of course the workers who are showing up and not getting paid. As travelers take to the sky, a general feeling of uncertainty fills the airport.
We knew that we needed to make sure that we were definitely here 2 hours ahead of time.
Just maybe a tad bit of apprehension. But
Carl Woods is flying to Houston, where travelers faced hours-long TSA lines this week due to staff shortages. As the government shutdown now hits day 37, his flight for today is on track, but for his return flight next week,
just check the news and just hope all is going well. Things have corrected themselves, hopefully, and it'll be a non-issue.
The FAA announcing it'll cut 10% of air traffic at these 40 airports starting Friday, as air traffic controllers who are working without pay face staff shortages and call-outs. The list includes all 3 D.C. area airports.
We will make sure that you arrive safely. The issue will be is the on-time piece.
Mike Christine is with the National Air Traffic Controllers Association and says while controllers are showing up, the financial burden and stress is mounting.
You know, this morning our controllers got notification that they'll be receiving their second $0 paycheck. So they're feeling it. They're frustrated.
I'm glad I'm traveling today because I do believe tomorrow will be more complicated.
Brandy Nagel is flying to Atlanta, one of the airports that'll see a cut in service. Her message to her fellow travelers.
We all need to be kind to each other as we're traveling because it's not easy for anyone.
And officials with the airport here are recommending that travelers check in with their individual airlines for any information about potential cuts. They also suggest that you check the flight status before showing up to the airport. Reporting live from Reagan National, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you for continuing coverage and also information about available resources to those impacted and to see how local officials are responding. Head to our website, dcnewsnow.com.
Well, a D.C. jury has found Sean Dunn not guilty of misdemeanor assault after he threw a sandwich at a federal agent this summer. Dunn, a former DOJ employee, called it a harmless protest, and his attorneys argued the government blew it out of proportion. That incident became a viral symbol of resistance against the federal law enforcement surge in the Capitol. Prosecutors originally sought felony charges, but a grand jury declined that.
All right, well, let's head over to meteorologist Damon Matson with a first look at our forecast. Did you see that? Did you feel that wind last night, or did you at least hear it? You heard it.
Lots of noises as I was about to go to sleep. So, yeah, I guess that's what it was, Jamin.
Yeah, I heard a few tree branches falling down myself last night. Nothing to cause any problems, but yeah, the wind was something else, and we felt it, we heard it across the entire region. Now, the wind was certainly stronger the more north you went, and the strongest gusts we saw recorded recorded out there at the Hagerstown Airport in Washington County, 66 miles per hour with that strongest gust. In northern Frederick County near Thurmont, we also saw nearly a 60-mile-per-hour gust down closer to the district in Cabin John and then over toward the Leesburg Airport. Those gusts still, though, were noticeable, but a little less, around 45 miles per hour. Now, thankfully enough, today it hasn't been totally calm. The wind still has been with us, but in a much less impactful capacity here. We've only had gusts around 20 miles an hour throughout the afternoon, so it's still breezy, but all in all, we are not seeing that extreme wind that we did last night into this morning. And as we head into the night tonight, it's actually supposed to get even calmer still as high pressure settles overhead. Now, that high's been nearby to where we've had a lot of sunshine, but unfortunately that change in wind direction that came with all of those gusty winds last night has kept us on the chillier side in the 50s today. And as we head into the night with the winds going calm, the skies remaining clear, it's going to start feeling cold. We're easily going to be in the low 40s by 11 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning, many of us will wake up to a frosty start. So we'll talk about how long this chillier air hangs around and if we're going to squeeze some rainfall out of another front expected to arrive tomorrow. That's coming up in your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. According to the Associated Press, D.C.'s National Guard will continue through next year, and they will be in the district through February 28, 2026. And the order states that the additional deployment is in response to the emergency declared in August by President Trump. Hundreds of National Guard troops have been in D.C. since August, which launched the president and his administration to take over the D.C. Police Department for 30 days. Meantime, additional troops from Arkansas are heading to the district. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders says that her state will be sending 100 soldiers to support the D.C. National Guard.
Well, new this afternoon, Maryland leaders are taking the Trump administration to court over its plans to keep the FBI's headquarters in D.C.
Yeah, they spent more than a decade pushing to bring the FBI to the state. The General Services Administration decided to build a new HQ in Greenbelt. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, DC News Now's Randy Bass was there this afternoon as Maryland leaders made that announcement. She's joining us live from Largo, Maryland with the latest this afternoon. Good afternoon, Randy.
Yes, today's lawsuit announcement comes several months after the Trump administration told Americans they would move the FBI's headquarters within Washington, D.C. Today, Maryland lawmakers are pushing to hold the federal government to its 2023 decision to move the FBI to Greenbelt.
The president's plan is not just illegal. Frankly, it just lacks common sense.
Today, Governor Westmore and Attorney General Anthony Brown announcing a lawsuit over the redirection of $1.1 billion in funding for a new FBI headquarters that was supposed to go to Maryland, replacing the aging Hoover building in D.C.
He decides to move the FBI building to another building that is too old, too small, and too exposed.
The Trump administration earlier this year going back on congressionally approved funding earmarked for the project and moving the headquarters down the street to the Reagan building instead. Leaders fought for more than 10 years to bring FBI HQ to one of two Maryland sites as opposed to another proposed site in Virginia. The Reagan building was not ever in previous consideration.
This battle, the one we're announcing today, is worth fighting.
We did this because we expected our communities would benefit from high-paying jobs.
Maryland Attorney General Brown says they believe they have a strong case, and Governor Moore says the state will leave no stone unturned to fight the president's plan.
He better think twice, and we'll see him in court.
Now, DC News Now reached out to several of the agencies named in that lawsuit. The GSA and the DOJ both did not offer a comment when we reached out to them. In Largo, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Randy, thank you. And developing now in Fairfax County, 2 people were found dead following a house fire in Herndon this morning. Officials there telling us crews were first dispatched to Shellbark Place, close to Drainsville Elementary School, just before 7:30. According to ARLnow.com, a death investigation is underway to determine their exact causes of death, as well as an investigation related to the cause of the fire.
Well, state police charged a Prince George's County man who allegedly shot and killed a woman while driving on the Capitol Beltway last year. The suspect, 28-year-old Dominic Proctor, faces first-degree murder charges, and State troopers say that the 20-year-old Naya Harrison was found unresponsive inside of her car that was found in a ditch in College Park in May of 2024. Harrison died at the hospital. Maryland State Police say that road rage is unexcusable.
This case represents a senseless loss of life. Naya was a member of our community. We loved her, and she was loved by her family and friends. We are heartbroken by that and hope today's announcement is a step towards closure.
Maryland State Police also said that they're looking for suspects in 2 other road rage murders of Charlie Marks and Delonte Hicks. Rewards for the information is set at $60,000.
Well, now to a story about the power of technology. 19 minutes is all it took for Fairfax County Police to find a missing couple from Burke, all the way in North Carolina. That couple with memory loss issues was reported missing by family on Monday. Fairfax County Police used a nationwide network of license plate readers to find their car traveling in Warrenton, North Carolina. Officers there made contact with the couple, and their family from Virginia went down to bring them home.
Personally, this can be a problem for many families who suffer with family members who suffer from memory loss or forgetfulness. It's really a reassurance that the police department can use technology to help find these people and get them home safely.
The Real-Time Crime Center is mostly used now for about 2 years, helping not just to find missing people, but to solve crime quickly.
Well, another year, Annalisa, another milestone for Alex Ovechkin, the Washington Capitals superstar, scoring his 900th regular season goal last night.
Yes, and he did it in front of his home crowd over at Capital One Arena. The Great Eight making history in style once again, scoring the goal on a nifty spinning backhanded shot. The Caps went on to beat the St. Louis Blues 6-1. The team is back in action tonight on the road, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Congrats to Ovi. He's really done so much for DC, and they love him here. They really do.
And the question is, does he have more left to give? Though we'll see, because he's in the final year of his contract.
It's the final year.
So hopefully they'll come up with some kind of a contract.
Well, enjoy whatever the next chapter is out there for him. I hope he enjoys it. Well, still to come here on the News at 4, the latest